Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me for a 1-hour Yin and Yoga Nidra practice. My name is Tamara Maxim. If you're watching this video recorded live, it's on Facebook, but if you'd like to watch it later on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel under my name, Tamara Maxim. There are more than 60 free yoga videos there, including different styles of yoga and videos for children. So I hope you can find them and enjoy them and share them with people that you know. Tonight our practice will focus on reducing anxiety. We'll be working a lot into the lower back area, working the root chakra and the sacral chakra and releasing tension and anxiety from those areas. And our lower back is, our root chakra is connected to our adrenal glands, which are in the lower back, which is more around the sacral area. So we can kind of combine those two lowest chakras to help to release the stress from the adrenal glands. And the adrenal glands regulate our response to stress, so they can release things like adrenaline and cortisol. We want to try to minimize that and keep ourselves in a state of regulation, so the parasympathetic state where we're releasing more hormones like endorphins. So I invite you tonight to think of anything that is causing you anxiety and stress. If you're like me, it's probably a long list, so I hope you can think of a few things that you can let go of, a few areas that you can work out and at least release for the next 60 minutes. We'll start today lying on our backs, and if you have a chance to go to a wall, please go to a wall. And we'll be taking Viparita Karani, which is legs up the wall. And I have a stack of couch cushions here and a couple of yoga blocks. If you have those things too, you can use them for your yoga practice tonight. But if you don't have things, don't worry about it, or just improvise with what you have. So we'll start right away, lying down onto our back. And just take a moment here with your feet flat on the mat and your palms, one placed onto your heart and one placed onto your abdomen. Take a few deep breaths. Identify any areas where you might be feeling a little bit of tightness or gripping or holding. Maybe there's a particular issue you can identify that you would like to work through. Or maybe it's just an undercurrent of anxiety. And take a few breaths here, exhaling out the mouth, and see if that helps to release anything. The breath might not be as even and deep as it will be later in the class, but just for now, try to let go of whatever you can to start with. You can think of this practice like hiking up a mountain, and you want to reduce the amount of baggage that you're carrying to start with, and then as you climb higher and higher, you'll feel lighter and lighter as you decide to let go of things. So let's take one big releasing breath. So the exhalation will be a big audible sigh out the mouth, and then we'll follow with one sound of Om. So take a first clearing breath in through your nose. Big sigh out your mouth. Inhale for Om. Allow that Om to attune you to a vibration of higher frequency of peace and of harmony, regulated emotions, calm, relaxation. Find an additional intention for your practice today. Maybe it's something personal. Maybe it's something collective. And thinking about the idea of tranquility in your practice. It's a quiet place of awareness within that is always accessible no matter what the circumstances. A gentle conscious breath can take you to this inner retreat and will reduce the noise of general life in just an instant. So remind yourself through this practice that it's a simple deep breath that can take you from the chaos of the mind, the turbulence of the mind, into a place of resting digesting, and relaxation. Slowly start to hug your knees in toward your chest. Squeeze your knees in nice and tight. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. If you've made your way to the wall, that's great. If you haven't, you can make your way there if it's accessible for you. You might want to take a cushion and put it underneath your sacrum for a little extra lift or a block. And then start to extend your legs up toward the ceiling or maybe up against the wall if you're against the wall. If you're going against the wall, just turn to the side. Let your hips press up against the wall and then roll over onto your back and extend the legs up. You're welcome to stay here with your arms beside you, palms facing up. Feels better for you, you can release your arms as well. Fingertips pointing same direction as your feet. Allow this pose to create a sense of heaviness in the spine as you surrender down into the mat, and a buoyancy in the limbs as they float up toward the sky or the ceiling. I always like to think of myself when I'm in this posture like I'm on the bottom of the ocean floor, where there's nothing but smooth sand. My whole back body can sink into the sand, and my arms and limbs are like seaweed floating buoyant in the salt water. So there might be a bit of softening of the joints, all the joints in the feet and the hands, all the joints in the legs and the arms, softening of the hips and the shoulders. Allow yourself to come to this place of peace, of tranquility. Stay with your breath. Take 5 more deep breaths here. Feel that heaviness of surrender, the back line of the body as you breathe in. Fill up the back body. As you exhale, feel that buoyancy and lightness as you let go and release. A few more breaths here. Last full inhale. Sigh out your mouth, exhale. Slowly allow again the knees to come into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze, and if you put your legs up the wall, just make your way back to your mat. Maybe rock a little bit side to side if it feels good. Maybe a happy baby pose, reaching from the inside of your legs to the outside to wrap your hands around your outer feet. Drawing your sacrum towards the mat as you press your feet up, and at the same time pull down on your feet. Knees coming to the outer edges of your mat or toward the floor. Then slowly start to release your arms and legs so that you're lying completely still on your mat. And our next posture will be Banana Asana. Extend your arms up over your head and start to walk your right foot more out to the right, and maybe your left foot to meet it, and maybe even coming on top to cross over the ankle if it feels okay. And then allow your upper body to move to the right, and maybe you create a little bit of a wing shape with your arms, fingertips beside your ears, or maybe you can extend your right arm more to the right, and maybe even grab your left wrist with your right hand. So you find the variation of this that works for you, but what I'd like you to do is try to keep both of your glutes, both of your hips, both sides of your pelvis on the mat, so you're not rolling over to the right side. So try to keep your shoulders and your hips on the mat, and maybe you can look up toward the ceiling more to your left side, And you'll feel a beautiful long stretch through the left side of the body, creating a shape of a banana. Breathe extra deeply into your left rib cage. See if you can crack open any spaces there that you might have been holding any tension or tightness. Sometimes when we're under a lot of pressure, it's hard to breathe. So if that's been the case for you lately, open up that side. And maybe pull your left toes toward the right side to get more of a stretch down the outer left hip. And then the more you turn your gaze up toward the left side, maybe you can pull your left wrist a little bit more to the right. Right elbow can be bent. Enjoy the sensation of lengthening the left side of the body. Creating more space for your ribs, for your internal organs. Take your last few deep breaths here, sigh out your mouth. Last two, inhale. Last one, inhale. And slowly start to bring your upper body back through center, release your arms. Bring your legs back through center, release the feet. Bring your feet onto the mat, hip just wide as your mat. Cactus your arms, and we'll windshield wiper the knees side to side a few times. Let's notice any difference as you come to stillness of the right and left side of the body. And again, extend your legs straight. Extend your arms over your head. Take a big stretch. And start to walk your left foot over to the left, and your right foot comes to meet it, maybe on top. And then walk your left arm over to the left. Maybe you can wrap your left fingers around your right wrist, or maybe you take a little wing shape, fingertips beside your ears. Create a banana shape with your body over to the left. Try not to roll onto your left side, so keep both buttocks down, both hips down, both shoulders down. And maybe you can look up to the right side. So here you'll feel this big stretch all the way down the right side of the body. If you want to get even more into the top of the right hip, turn your right toes toward the left side. Creating extra space. Sometimes in the body seems almost impossible in a time where we feel so restricted, so constricted, so much pent up inside. So enjoy and luxuriate in these times where we can create more opening, more space, more opportunity to let go. Maybe over time your legs can go a little bit more to the left, your upper body can stretch a little bit more to the left. Keeping your mind on anything that comes up for you that feels constricting, feels tight. Try to let it go as you exhale. Acknowledge and let it go. No judgment, no criticism, no negative self-talk. It's just the process of letting go. Take your last 5 deep breaths here. As you're ready, slowly bring yourself back through center. Keep your body straight, long. Bend your knees again. Take them the feet wide, knees wide. Cactus your arms. Windshield wiper a few times, side to side. You can even turn your head in the opposite direction of your knees if that feels good for you. The next time your knees are onto the right side, roll yourself completely over to the right and just stay here for a moment in this fetal position. Enjoy this sideline opportunity. It's a reminder of life, of security, love, comfort. Use your top hand to push yourself all the way up, coming up to your seat. We'll take a seated forward fold, caterpillar pose. If you'd like to put something underneath your thigh, such as a cushion or a bolster, you can. And also, you might want to use a cushion or a bolster to lay over top of as we fold forward. So it can look like this. You might hang over the bolster. This is a really big cushion. Maybe you have something a little less intense as this, but this actually works really good as a little spring. Forehead onto the cushion. And what we're going for here is a stretch in the back body, especially through the lower back. So to release, again, as I was mentioning at the beginning, any stress from the adrenal glands. So as you're ready, take your time, sit up nice and tall to begin, and then as you're ready, fold forward. If you like, let your palms face up wherever they are as a gesture of surrender. Let the crown of the head relax so that the neck is long. You can even rest your forehead onto a block. And when we stretch the back line of the body, we're releasing from our past, any experiences, any hurts, any memories. So without even needing to identify, feel free to let any emotions that are stored there to go so that you can maybe get a little deeper into the posture. It's always good to come back to your intention, to come back to your breath, remembering that that one breath is the way to come back into this place of calm and tranquility. If, as we're holding for time, you start to feel that you could release a little bit more, you're always welcome to release any props or supports that you have and let your body work to its own natural edge. Continue to keep coming back to the breath if you start to veer away from this moment. Create more attention for yourself. Just allow yourself to come back. Stay in this zone of tranquility that nothing really matters except for this moment. Take your last 5 to 6 deep breaths here. Feel free to add in an audible sigh. Last 2 breaths here. Make that sigh even more audible. As you're ready, take your time to slowly roll yourself up. Remove any props or blocks, anything that you have underneath you. Just shift to your sides. You can come forward onto your hands and knees. We'll move through a few cat and cow or even downward dog if that's good for you. Stretch out the whole spine and tuck the toes, knees under hips, palms under shoulders. Spread your fingertips. Inhale, tailbone up, tummy down, chest up. Exhale, untuck the toes. Try to press the tops of the feet down right to the ankle bones, around the spine, chin to chest. A couple more times, nice and slow with the breath. Tuck your toes, lift your heart up, maybe look up. The whole exhale round the spine. Come back to the inhale, tuck your toes, and now we'll come into melting heart pose. So you might want to move back on your mat just a little bit. Start to walk your arms out in front of you. As you melt the heart down toward the mat, the arm bones will lengthen, the chest will melt down, and if this is too much for you, you can always use some kind of cushion or prop, be midway, lay on top of it. You can look forward if you want to bring your chin onto the mat, or rest your forehead down. Sometimes it's nice just to have something for the forehead as well. The idea here is to keep the hips above the knees and create a sloping action with the spine. So creating a nice long spine here. And as I said, you can put your chin onto the mat as well and lengthen the front of the throat if that feels good for you, if you're more open there. And if at any time this becomes too much, we will end anyways in a child pose. So you're welcome to take a child pose if you need during the pose. Otherwise, stay holding here in Anahatasana, heart melting, and feel that lengthening of the chest down toward the mat and that beautiful long stretch as if somebody's pulling you back by your hips and your heart is being pressed down into the mat. So beautiful elongation of the lower back, especially a beautiful release from the adrenal glands to help reduce anxiety and create more of that response of relaxation versus the response of stress. About 5 more deep breaths here. And you can stay here for a few more breaths if you like, or make your way back into child pose. Let the knees come together or wide. Let your forehead come down, palms beside your feet facing up, and completely relax. Take 5 to 6 deep breaths here just as a transition into our next posture. And use these transition poses in the Yin practice to help the body regulate, to help the body come back to a place of equilibrium, to help your breath stay calm, not moving too quickly or too slowly. Take your last couple of breaths in child pose. Last deep inhale and full exhale. And slowly you'll roll yourself all the way up. Shift off to one side, maybe the opposite side. Get your legs out in front. Lean back into your hands, let your shoulders relax. Maybe wiggle the legs and feet around. And the next posture will be a butterfly pose, a seated butterfly pose. So you're welcome to sit up onto a block or use something in front of you as well. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. And a cushion can be something that you could use for your forehead. It could be something that you could lay over. It could be something bigger like a bolster. So you decide what feels good for you. A nice variation that I like is to bring my hands underneath my shins and wrap my fingers around my toes and relax the head down. If that doesn't work for you, you could also let the arms come forward, palms facing up, or you might be more upright, maybe pressing your fingertips back behind you. Maybe sitting upright like this is enough. So you decide what works for you, something both sustainable but also that creates some opening in the inner thighs. If you can, try to create some kind of rounding in the lower back, because that's ultimately where we're trying to release here. Softening of the adrenal glands, an opening of the inner thighs and the hips. A lot of our creativity, our sexuality, our sensuality, and our emotions are stored in the area of the hips, the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana. We want to do our best to keep that fluid energy, that watery element of this area open. Always welcome to put some blocks under your outer thighs as well, if that feels good for you. Try to let your head relax wherever you are. For some reason this is challenging for you to be in the upright position, you can also do this pose lying down on your back. Recline butterfly. Take your last 5 breaths here. Feel free to use that sigh to help signal the body to deeply relax, let go, find tranquility. Deep breath in through your nose. sigh to release. Slowly roll yourself up. Bring your knees together. Lean back into your hands again. We'll do a reverse tabletop this time. If you have a block underneath, you can release it. When you're ready on your inhale breath, lift your hips up. Maybe look back. Stay for a couple of breaths if you can. Press the hips up. One more breath. Slowly lower down. This time we'll take a half butterfly pose. So take your right leg out to the right. Take your left foot in towards your right inner thigh. And we'll do this equal amount of time on each side. So notice the difference. It might be tighter on one side than the other. We'll start upright like this. Then you can open your arms in a T shape. And then tip your arms over to the right. So your right forearm might come onto your right thigh or maybe inside. You can take your left hand behind your head. Turn your chest open. You're welcome to stay here, or left hand onto the left hip, or maybe you reach your top arm over your ear. Again, this needs to be sustainable, but also creating some kind of stretch into the left side body. You can create more of a lower back stretch if you curl your chest slightly forward, rather than opening up to the side, which we normally do in a yoga practice. See if you can tip your chest slightly down toward the mat, and then you'll feel this down the left side of your back. Let your gaze be soft here. You don't need to curl your head up. You can look down towards your right thigh. And again, you can use any props underneath your right arm that you need if you need a little bit more accessibility here. Taking your last 6 to 8 deep breaths on this side. And slowly turn your body towards your right leg. Square your chest, and we'll fold forward here just for a few breaths. Going as deep as you can. You might be more upright. You may need to use a bolster or cushion on top of your leg, or even behind your knee. 5 deep breaths. The more you can turn yourself toward the right, again, the more you'll feel the stretch through your lower back, helping to release both sides of the lower back, getting into the kidneys, the adrenal glands. Last full breath in. And a full breath out. Slowly bring yourself back up, and we'll switch sides. You can bring your left leg out to the left, right foot on your left inner thigh. Open up your arms in a T shape. And then tip yourself over to the left side. Your left forearm might rest on your thigh, inside of your thigh. Your right hand can be behind your head to start, maybe hand onto your hip. Or maybe you reach up and over your head. And you'll get a big side stretch into the right side of your body. If you want to bring more lower back into it, then curl your chest slightly toward the mat. Then you'll feel this all the way down the sides of the spine. Helping to stretch out and release through the lower back. the kidneys, the adrenals. And stay with that breath, that deep, slow inhalation, that long, luxurious exhalation. That's the path to tranquility. That's the signal to your body to stay in this relaxation response. Take about 6 more breaths here. Come up enough to turn your body toward the left side. And your fingers, if you can, inhale, lengthen your spine. A little bit of twist of the spine. You'll get down into the sides of the back. Exhale, fold over your left thigh. Of course, you can use any kind of support that you need if you need it. Take 5 deep breaths. Last couple of breaths. When you're ready to release, sit yourself up. If you're using any props, you can release them. And take your legs wide, press down into your finger pads behind you. Give your chest a nice stretch up. And then we'll cross our ankles, come forward onto our hands and knees, back to the tabletop position. If you'd rather take downward dog rather than cat and cow, you can, lifting the hips up, maybe pedaling out your feet. Or you could be in tabletop, stretching out the spine through cat and cow. Our next posture will be sleeping swan or deer pose. So from either downward dog or tabletop position, bring your left knee behind your left wrist. You can let your left shin bone be at an angle. Slide your right leg back behind you for sleeping swan. If you'd rather come to deer, roll to the outer edge of your hip and create a zigzag shape with your legs. And then from either position, you can fold straight forward. From deer pose, you might want to fold a little bit more to the right. Or to add in that twist that gets more into the lower back, you can twist a little bit more to the left side. So I'll leave that up to you, what feels good. If you want to come deeper into sleeping swan, you can start by lifting the chest, pulling the right thigh toward the mat, and then lengthen down as far as you like, using any kind of props underneath you here, underneath your forehead. If you have the ability, you can keep your palms facing up and let the forehead come down to the mat. If you want to go one step deeper, you can use blocks if you like. Don't really necessarily need them. You try them if you like, and bring your elbows onto blocks or onto the mat, palms together, and thumbs to the nape of your neck as the forehead comes down. And this mimics a little bit the heart melting pose and gets into the lymph nodes underneath the arms. Helps to create some stimulation for our immune system and to release any toxins that we have built up there. any point the elbow extension is too much for you, come down into any position that feels good. And if you've been in deer pose with your foot and knee connected and you want to slide back into sleeping swan, you can do that for the last few moments of the pose. Getting a nice release for our hips. Allowing an emotional release of anything that's been building up there. Last 5 breaths. Taking your last breath of 2. When you're ready, slowly push yourself up. You might want to rock more to your side or come forward onto your hands and knees. However you'd like to release. You can step your left leg back behind you. Give it a nice extension, tucking your toes. And then maybe your right leg back behind you. If it feels good to move into downward dog, you can. Pedal out your heels a couple of times. If you're in tabletop, moving through cat and cow. And then when you're ready, you'll set yourself up on the other side. So this time the right knee will come behind the right wrist. The right shin bone will be at an angle. And you can either roll to your right side for a deer pose and decide which direction you'd like to fold forward. So try to take the same angle as you did on the other side. Or extend that left leg back behind you, tuck your toes and slide your left knee as far back as you can. And then fold down into it. And if you like to use the blocks again, or not the blocks, but have your elbows forward, palms together and thumbs to the nape of your neck, you'll get a really beautiful side body lengthening and stretch into the lymph nodes. And if you do a lot of power yoga like I do, it's a nice stretch for your triceps and your shoulders, which get a lot of action during vinyasas. Again, if you'd like to release the blocks or come off of your elbows and surrender down onto your palms or slide into sleeping swan from deer pose, you can for the last few moments of the pose. Take your last 5 to 6 deep breaths here. When you're ready to release this posture, you can either roll to your side or push into your hands, depending which position you're in. You might want to stretch your right leg back behind you, rock forward and back on the toes, stretch out your heel. Same thing other side. Before we move into Yoga Nidra, we'll take a child pose and 3 Brahmari breaths. So if you want this to be more of a hip opener, take your knees wide, hips to heels. If your back is feeling a little tight, keep your knees together. Let your forehead come down. Maybe you're using a block or a pillow. Maybe you're taking a very supported child pose. You might be leaning over something. Bring your arms beside you, palms facing up. And the Brahmari breath is a beautiful way to create tranquility in the mind and the body. The humming sound on the exhalation with your lips closed, it's the sound of the om. And I always think of it like a vibration of the mind to release anything out that you've been holding or gripping. It's always what's in the mind that creates the stress in the body. So let's release 3 times Brahmari breath, and then we'll move into a position for Yoga Nidra and Shavasana. Take a deep, clearing breath in through your nose. Brahmari breath. Again, inhale. One more time, inhale. Allow yourself to completely soften into the pose. Feel the whole back opening like a shell of a tortoise, stretching across the hips, the lower back, the mid-back, whole back line of the body releasing. Take your time the next few moments to roll yourself up. Make your way onto your back or any position that you would like for Yoga Nidra and Shavasana. Staying quiet inside, staying tranquil and peaceful. As you make your way into your position, feel free to cover yourself. Maybe put on extra clothing or a blanket. You might want to put a bolster under your thighs or a pillow behind your head. Get cozy and comfortable, and hopefully you'll stay here for a long time. Maybe you'll slip right into your sleep. Let's begin here. With Yoga Nidra, we're working through the entire body, one part at a time, and relaxing the body with awareness. So we'll move through the body, and what I've been doing lately is moving through parts of the body, left and right side together, and then opening up through the chakras. So I'll be doing that with this practice here. So take a deep breath in and come all the way up to the crown of the head, Sahasrara, and see if you can feel and envision a beautiful spiral of white light above your head. And as you exhale, draw that white light all the way down through your body and bring it all the way to your feet. Relax your feet. Relax your toes. Relax the tops of your feet. Relax the soles of your feet. Relax your heels. Relax your ankles. Take another deep breath in. Travel all the way up through the spine, all the way to the crown of the head again, and feel that beautiful and see that beautiful spiral of white light above your head. And as you exhale, bring it all the way back down into your legs, both of your legs. Relax your legs. Relax the lower leg, your calf and your shins. Relax your knees. Relax the top of your leg, your hamstrings and your thighs. Relax your hips. Take another deep breath in, and the crown of the head is glowing with this beautiful white light as you bring the breath right to the top. And as you exhale, bring some of that white light with you all the way down into your torso, the whole length of your torso. Relax your pelvis. Relax your hips. Relax your belly. Relax your lower back. Feel that relaxation rising through your solar plexus, through the mid-back, through your rib cage, all of your internal organs, your chest, your upper back, through the sides of your rib cage, up through your lymph nodes, through the backs of your shoulders, the sides of your shoulders, the front of your shoulders. Feel your heart relax. Take another deep breath in, all the way to the crown of the head, that beautiful white light glowing above your head. And as you exhale, drop that beautiful white light right down into your fingertips. Relax both of your hands. Relax the palm of your hand. Relax all your fingers. Relax the top of your hand. Relax your wrists. Take another breath in right up to the crown of your head. And as you exhale again, drop that beautiful white light down into your arms. Relax the forearms. Relax your elbows. Relax your upper arms. Connect to that relaxation you already have in your shoulders and let both arms soften. And now notice your body from your neck down, completely relaxed, almost heavy like sandbags sinking down into your mat. Take another full breath in right to Sahasrara, all the way out the crown of the head, this beautiful white light glowing. And as you exhale, bring that beautiful energy all the way down to the base of your spine, Muladhara Chakra. Keep rising up the spine. Relax Muladhara Chakra, your root chakra. Relax Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra. Relax Manipura Chakra, the solar plexus. Relax your heart, Anahata Chakra. And now concentrate your awareness on your throat, Vishuddha Chakra. Relax the front of your throat, the sides of your throat, the back of your throat. Relax your whole neck all the way around. You can feel a beautiful cuff of relaxation all the way around your neck. Relax inside, relax your throat. All the things that you wish you could say or wish you could have not said. Relax all of that. Take another breath in. Come up a little higher, right to the third eye, Ajna Chakra. Your intuition, your inner knowing. And as you concentrate your energy here, yet let that beautiful white light relax all around your face, in the back of your head, your ears, your jaw, all of the muscles in your face softening as if your whole face could melt. Soften the tongue in your mouth, soften the eyes in their sockets. Start to soften the mind, the whole frontal lobe of the brain, becoming smooth and even, taking out any wrinkles or tension around the eyes and the eyebrows. And take another breath in, right to the crown of the head, and feel this beautiful release of energy through the crown. And let that white light keep traveling up, keep traveling up, keep traveling up, connecting with the beautiful energy in the universe. You are part of that energy. You are as beautiful as the universe. Allow yourself to stay here in this deep state of relaxation. Your whole body breathing, your whole body relaxing, your whole body letting go all at once. Feel tranquil, feel peaceful, feel relaxed. close the practice, you can join me if you like, from wherever you are with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, or just listen and stay here as you are for as long as you like. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Recognize the beautiful white light within you, traveling all around your body, rising up and down the spine and out of the crown of your head, contributing to the tranquility of the world around you from deep within. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.